Hello, hello, my friends, my friends. Again, here is Sika with Musafiri podcast. I am going to do a quick live here and talk about getting robbed in Nairobi, or in matatus. And for those who are returnees, returning back home for a visit, how you can prepare, especially if you are returning for the first time. I mean, a lot of times you think Nairobi, but you come to the United States and you find that you can leave your phone anywhere and you find it. You can go to the mall and come back with your phone. You can go to the big city and come back with the phone. And so, even though we know we just maybe 2 3 years came from Kenya, we tend to forget, um, what actually it is back the reality of Nairobi. The reality of Nairobi is the guys in Nairobi, they can identify if you're coming from outside. I don't know how they do it, but they can tell if you just came from abroad. Somehow those guys are able to tell. And so therefore, there's a need to be extra careful. Unfortunately, it's a topic that I would now want to portray Kenya as, a bad place to be. But the reality is, every country has bad people, evil people. And so Nairobi is no exception. And from my experience, both 2 times I've traveled to Kenya, my first 2 trips to Kenya, in both of those instances, both both trips, I got my wallet stolen. I got smart on one thing, and my phone never got stolen, but definitely my wallet was stolen in both cases. But let's start with the issue of the phone. The best way to prepare for returning back home is basically, as I said yesterday, talk to somebody that you trust. 1 or 2 people that can be waiting for you at the airport and escort you. They'll be like your security, right? They'll be like your security. These people are essential. They are essential because they will be able to remind you what Nairobi is. If they see you holding your phone recklessly, they will tell you, put that away. Like literally, hey, put that away. It will disappear in a moment. And so you need those people to kind of, to remind you where you are. You are no longer in the US. You are no longer in Grand Rapids. You are no longer in Seattle. You are no longer in DC. You are in Nairobi. And in Nairobi, there are people, there are young people, there are old people who are waiting there to take advantage. An opportunity that they see to snatch your phone away, to snatch your wallet away. I'm not going to talk about other countries because I've traveled to another country in Africa. I know of Kenya. I've been to Nairobi. I know how it is. And I don't think things have changed at all. It probably maybe gotten worse, even for the locals. This is just not even for limited to like returnees, diaspora who are visiting them, even for the locals. But for those, if you are going there to visit, we tend to be a little bit more careless because these are things we do not have to think on daily basis here in the United States. Or if you are in Dubai, because I believe there also is, stealing is strictly prohibited. And so having those people, 1 or 2 people that actually, if the people really know Nairobi really well, that is an added advantage. Because you also want somebody who knows, the ins and outs of Nairobi, so you can get where you need to be as soon as you can. So when it comes to the phones, this is what I do. I don't know if for older generation or even actually those phones are still there. They're like the old Nokia phones, with the buttons. Those are like when they came out. We used to use those. Every time I travel to Kenya, I buy one of those. Surprisingly, they are still in the market. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, let me see if I can find a picture here of the Nokia. So it is this kind of a phone, right there. Yeah, with the buttons. Those are the phones I'm talking about. Like literally, those phones, they are cheap. That's the good thing about them. They are cheap. And a lot of these people would not, they would rather be looking out for a smartphone compared to that phone. So you are safe. Also, if you lose that phone, it's not a big deal. You know, it's not like you losing your iPhone or your Samsung Galaxy 24 or 23 or 25 or 26. You know, that's more valuable. And these people will look out for that. So if you're on your phone and you are walking the streets of Nairobi, you probably don't want to have your iPhone 17 on you, because if it takes those guys to cut off your head, or your end, I mean, mkono, they will do it to get it. But ukiwa this little Nokia or Motorola, you have a less likely chance of getting robbed of that. And if it happens, the worst that can happen is just the value of that little phone and the SIM card, right? But also the SIM card, I mean, what can they do with it? You have a pin. So it's important if you are going back to Kenya. Even if you left 2 years ago from Kenya or a year ago, you'll be surprised how 1 year can shift your mentality into be a little bit careless. And it just needs a little bit of carelessness for those guys to take advantage of. And the people who steal from you, you cannot identify. You just can look at them and know you know them. Like, they are so good at disguising, themselves. And you don't know. It starts from it can be a lady, it could be a mama, it could be, a young man, an older guy, like you never know who will do it. So you can say you're only looking out for like youths like who are in their 20s and 30 to steal. No, you never know who will do it. So for your security, buy that phone and you'll be in a better place. And that reminds me one time when I went to buy those phones, the second time I traveled to Kenya. The customer service in that place, it was horrible. I went there to buy the phone, and these people are just sitting there. It's like, okay, are you gonna do anything? Are you gonna like come talk to me about this phone? And even when I went to talk to them, they still is like, I'm begging them to buy the phone, which was the worst customer service I ever received. So in a lot of these areas too, like, guys, if you are hired by somebody to sell them electronics or anything, have good customer service skills. Try to talk to your customer, make them buy, like engage them. When they come to the store, step up, go talk to them and see what they need. So I'll be looking at my notes here. But just buy that phone because it will serve you well. Your iPhone 17, your Samsung, I don't know, 26 or 25, 24, 22, put that away. Tuck that one away, like far away, where they cannot reach it. The other thing is, I would say, is when it comes to your phone and to your wallet, to cash, first of all, I will say that you have to be creative in the way you store your stuff, especially your valuables. If it's something that you have to put in your pocket, don't put it in the regular pocket. Have a cloth innerwear that has a pocket and stuck it in there. Somehow, like, you have to go that extra mile because you are competing with people who are very creative in this industry of stealing from people. So either you tuck it somewhere in your socks, tuck it somewhere in your shoes. I don't know how you do that for a phone. Maybe for like cash you can do that. But you will need like to tuck it so far away. I don't know, maybe in your underwear or something. Such a way that if anybody were to take that thing away, they had to strip you naked. Like, you have to take it to that extreme just for you, to be safe and to ensure that you will, your goods are safe. This could be like a bad publication for Kenya. in Nairobi particularly, maybe the other cities. I've never been to the other cities as much, so I can't talk about that. But the thing is, these things happen. Nairobi is a beautiful place everybody should visit. But also, we know there's a big crime in Nairobi is relatively very high, even from bus drivers who drive the matatus around. They cannot use their phone just anyhowly. They have to make sure like their windows are all the way up. Like this is how bad it is. And that's one of the things that I hope Kenyans, we as Kenyans can change. Yeah, I know there are so many factors that cause people, to behave in such a manner. All they're trying to do, most of them, is put food on their table. But then they are doing that at the cost of somebody else who is similarly, suffering. So how can you victimize somebody who is already suffering with you? Like, that's not fair. So that's the reality. And until we address that, man, we have to talk about it because it is a problem. I know other nations have problems as well. I've heard in Nigeria, man, you get to the airport and the first thing they start doing is begging you. They're begging you for money. They're begging you for cash. And they don't want, a lot of them may not even want if you give them a Nigerian Naira, I think that's the name, they'll say, no, they want like dollars, they want rupees, those kind of things. So you'll be begged by immigration officials in Nigerian airport. You'll be begged by, baggage or bag handlers. You'll be by security. They will be also begging. Janitorial staff, they will be begging. Everybody's begging in Nigeria, and apparently that's the reputation. Is so annoying also for people who are traveling back to Nigeria. And other countries, I'm sure they have their own thing. But those I know in Nairobi, there isn't begging. But when it comes people snatching other people's stuff, it's pretty high. The second thing is this: your wallet, where you have, your valuables. Make sure you have the list in your wallet. And if you have to, to keep your ID there and all other stuff, this might encourage me because I lost my wallet in my first 2 trips in Kenya. I lost them. And I did not lose it in Nairobi. You lose it. I lost it a lot of time during transit, especially if you use public transportation. If you are using public transportation and you are all crammed together in a matatu, you don't know, like somebody that you're squeezing one another. In all that commotion, somebody puts their hands in your pocket. You will not be able to tell because you are all crammed together, literally next to each other. No order at all. So that becomes tricky. So in both times, I got my wallet back. And how did I get my wallet back? After traveling, I went home. I find out that I don't have my wallet. I don't know where it is. And then the following day, I got called. I got a phone call from somebody I believe it was in Kangundo, Tala area. I think it was in Tala, Machakos. And they say, oh, we have your wallet. We found it, outside our shop, and all your debit cards and everything just lay on the floor. And so come for it. So I had to travel all the way to Tala to get it. And so I believe what saved me is I will show this image here again. I'm pretty sure Kenyans will understand what this is. It's like little thing that when you buy like Safaricom and other service SIM card, it can have your number in the back, and that's what was still on my wallet, and that's how these people were able to call me because that package had my number in the back because my SIM card was still new. Remember. So that's in both cases. That's how I was able to somebody to get out of me and say, "Hey, we have your stuff." The second round, and this was my second travel to Kenya, the same thing happened, and it ended up in Masinga area, like Masinga Dam. So I had to travel all the way there, to get it, and because these people, when they discover your wallet has been abandoned somewhere randomly, it was also, mine was also, the second time was also abandoned outside a shop. So the owner of the shop called me. And in both of these cases, when these people get out of this wallet, they call you. But ukienda huko, you still have to pay them. You have to pay them because they kept your wallet, which I guess is fair. But I remember in my second case, they were just asking for a lot of money. And I had to negotiate with them to get my wallet back. So when you have your wallet, make sure somehow in your wallet, you have something that asks your phone number or your contact. And that way, whoever stole it and whatever they abandoned it, somebody who is curious, they'll find it and they'll see your number. They'll probably already find there's nothing valuable because the first guy probably took anything that was valuable. But at least they'll call you and you can recover your ID, which I think is important. You will be able to recover your ID. So make sure in your wallet you have something that can identify you. If the second person who finds your wallet, they can get in touch with you and you can go get it. So that's important. It is important. And these are the realities that you have to deal with when you travel back home. Don't underestimate the power of these guys, especially in Nairobi. I remember one time my friend and I, when there was an outdoor event and there was like some musicians who were present. I think it was some celebrities and all of that. So it was kind of in a field whereby they have their stage and you're here, you are all, kind of having fun. And there was a group of like 6 boys. They were about my age as well. So they are really not boys, but I guess then we were kind of in our 20s, right? And these guys, I don't know how they identify me, but they are able to tell. They came and surrounded me. So they isolated my friend who, had never traveled with me abroad. They were able to isolate me. Like, basically they surrounded me and they didn't have any, like hawakujali my friend, So they surrounded me, and all of a sudden when I realized I'm in trouble is because they started putting their hands in my pocket. And somebody was, trying to hold, like neck choke, that kind of a thing. And, thanks to my, to my teacher, my Kung Fu teacher, I did a little bit of martial arts in high school. And one of the things that he taught us is, despite your training, if you are attacked, your first move is to run away. Literally, the first layer of protection is to run away. And now, if you cannot run away, or if you have attempted to run away and it's not possible, then you take your next, your next strategy, whatever that is. So that just somehow like clicked in my mind. And the next thing that I knew is surveying all the guys that were surrounding me, identifying the weak one, and I was just knocking him down and running. It was crazy. So, and the funny thing is, so I ran and I kind of stood from a distance where I can see them, and then they go and start talking to my friend. And they literally told my friend they could tell that I was not a local. I had come from somewhere, from outside the country. How they knew that, I have no freaking idea. But they knew. So these guys, these criminals, because they are criminals, they just know how to identify people. So for you to be safe, the best thing you can do is take those precautions. If you are moving around, don't say like, I used to know this place, so you are good. Always ask somebody that you trust to accompany you. Even when you go home and a friend comes to visit you and say, hey, can you escort me out? Don't go alone. take somebody in the family, go with you, especially if it's at night, even during the day. Like, you cannot trust anybody after being in the United States or outside of the United States. The people who are, you guys who are in Kenya, you may not understand this, but these are my experiences. And I'm pretty sure the other people who have experienced the same. So the best you can do for you and for the sake of your family is to take precautions. Like, take those precautions. Just don't think that this is a place I used to know, the people I used to know, and that you'll be fine. No. It's not the case. So I think that's what I had today. For today, at least, I hope this information will be helpful to somebody. And for those who are in diaspora in different areas, outside of Kenya, outside Nigeria, or outside whatever country you are in, and you're returning home for a visit, either for Christmas or for summer holiday, please share in the comments what your experiences are. Have you ever had any similar experiences like I did? Did you not have any issues at all? You know, because I'm pretty sure there are people who have traveled who never had any issues. So I'll be curious to hear the people who have traveled outside the country and upon their return, how your experiences were. But the people who have not traveled outside the country, among many things that we as people of diaspora struggle with, that's one of the things that we struggle with when we go back home. And that's just a few of the many things. I mean, you go back and you still, depending on where you're coming from and your family background, you find like every financial responsibility gets laid on you. As little as, buying like tea leaves. Everybody will be asking, oh, we don't have tea leaves. Oh, we don't have this. We don't have this. So you become the banker. Or the ATM. So those are just a few of the many things that we struggle with back home. There are other things like, being humble, because also some people think, oh, you're unaringa kwa sababu umetoka majuu. So just navigating those challenges, man, it's not easy. It's not easy. And my desire is also that you people who are back home, when we come back home, you can be more understanding. It's not everybody who comes back who is, they are really well off. People have to save a lot to be able to make it back home and also still at least get some rest, because we get overworked here. You work a lot to be able to make that trip. So that's about it for today. I know I was supposed to talk about international students and how, to what extent you can trust your international student advisor, and also to another extent, your immigration lawyers. But I think I'll tackle that another day. I needed to finish this because I thought it was important. So that is it for now. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Consider liking this video and sharing it. Share it with somebody that you know is abroad with you, or just your siblings or parents who is abroad. Just share with them, and so they can avoid being victims of the situations that we have to go through. So that is it for now. I will see you guys another time. All right. Bye-bye for